All right, let's get this party started. Right, we're at Edinburgh. I said night flight, but it's not quite night up here in Edinburgh. It's going down fast, so it probably will be by the time we take off. But we're doing a flight from Edinburgh to Oslo. It's let's have a look at the metals. It is at the moment apparently 15 degrees C, probably 14 now, with light rain in Glasgow. 9 knots wind out of 260. We're taking runway 23. We've got 10 kilometers of visibility, and we've got clouds about 1,800 feet, about 3,000, broken at 1,800 and 2,200, etc. So yeah, we are here at Edinburgh, and we will be taking off from runway 23, which is up this end somewhere, heading south. We're going to do the Norbo departure, and then we sort of go south for a little bit, and then we sort of go east, and we head towards, I think, Newcastle way. Yeah. And then out east, and then kind of north east to Ripar. And at the moment the weather in Oslo is 20 degrees C, broken clouds, 6 knots, 10 kilometers, clouds scattered at 2,900, broken at 4,500. That's all going to change a little bit as the cloud will disappear. And yeah, the actual flight time is let's have a look. Initial altitude 45. Why has that got us going higher than going to Iceland? Always chose 43. Anyway, 45 initial altitude. Woohoo! 4 passengers. Where's my timings gone? In the planning we know it's about 2 hours. I think the air time though is only about an hour and a half, so it's going to be a quicker flight than the one we did to Iceland. And see how it goes. I mean, we could do a return flight afterwards, although I'm probably more likely to maybe do Oslo back to somewhere. EasyJet taxiing out. Right, let's jump in and let's get the ground power on. Get the engine covers off, instrument covers off. I've got a luggage door, which wasn't like with a lot of business jets, so we're kind of hidden a little bit behind the engines. Right, we're up here. We're a little bit close to this. I don't know what aircraft these are. Something like a Global or something with the 3 engines they're using. These are just statics to do with the airport. Right, so what I need to do is I need to bring the fuel across from. In brief, 4 passengers are in, and we've got 5,092 fuel. Let's double check that. 5,095. That is good. Okay, let's close that up. Let's close the main door up, and let's get things going. I think I had a problem with the nav, didn't I, last time? I think I moved it to instant, but I actually prefer it on something like fast rather than instant. But we'll see if we have a problem with that. So external power can go on, standby power can go on, batteries can go on, ECAS can go on. Right, we've already done our weights. So get that off by mistake, moving my mouse. Okay, so we need to do the pos in it. Now, I had a problem with it last time. It's done it again, like where it flashed up and then disappears. It normally, let's see there, it flashed and then disappeared. I didn't have that the first few flights I did. Now it seems to be happening all the time. And that's why we had some problems with these two align. That's weird. It's really weird how it's replicating that from last time. So recall the flight plan. Okay, this isn't gonna work quite properly until we get a right, that's got Norbo in. Archer Norbo transition. Just have a look. Archer 123. The 1H. Yeah, it was kind of weird last time, wasn't it? And then it sort of later on it just flashed up at the bottom and then disappeared. Looks like some kind of saving state is yeah, I've got the standby power on, which is crucial for it. Get the APU running. It sorted itself out last time, so it's on. Yeah, I don't know what's causing that. Last time we sort of messed around with going to instant and then it seemed to be an MCDU issue. Right, CPU has started. It is ready to load. Generator on. Leads on. Okay, that seems maybe something to do with not having the avionics on then. back to align. It says it's loaded. So they should go green, and we can go to nav. Okay, so let's just have a look at the departure. I think it's 5,000 by the look of it for the 26. Well, almost 6,000. It's bugged it up. I might put in 5.5 because Gow needs to be minimum 5. Be a nice, hopefully a nice chill flight. Not too long. Hopefully no errors. Let's just take these off cut-off. Okay, we have got the aligned screen, so do that. And the navigation comes up. Chubbly, I'll leave the. There is some state saving in this, which is quite nice. With your MFDs, PFDs, etc. So we tend to put the P2s on. Okay. The arrival is the Ripper 3L. Ripper 3L, that's the one. And then the arrival, the approach is going to be for runway, at the moment, 01 left, ILS. And transition will be, well, it says it's Ripham and Ripham. I don't think we've only got Insa, Valpu, or I think Valpu's rings a bell. Let me just check my. I've got the. What are we doing? 01, ALS 01 left. It's Valpu. Get it in the, this in the RJ. Very nice flight, but I think we had a bit of a messed up landing. Okay, let's look at the perf data. Take off. Right, let's put this on flight plan. Have a look. Perf in it. management. And a 50-70 already. Understand. Take off. So we're doing runway 23, heading 226. Now I can center that on the thing, but I might just get ahead. So let's do. We do 226. So plug that up early. Do 226 is the runway. What's the heading we're out at? Chart, so 226 and then to Norbo like 225. What 225 is how we're going Gow. Let's just have a look here. 225, yeah, Norbo. Right, 8,700 feet runway, outside temperature 14, that sounds about right. It says 15 now. I'm going to leave it at that because by the time we take off it might have dropped a degree. The wind is 9 knots at 250. Can differ sometimes from the tablet. Let's just see what the tablet says. Saying 251 12 knots. Let's see 12 on the. It's just gone to 11. Put in 250 at 11. Yep. F data, it's fine. 556 miles. Hey Casey, how you doing, buddy? Just prepping for my chill flight over to Oslo from Edinburgh. Not Edinburgh, Glasgow. Give me a 4-digit number that's not 76, 7700 or anything for my, you can choose my TCAS code. Too many buttons. Oh no, there's not too many buttons. Honestly, I don't know what it is. I mean, certainly the last year or two, I've got so at home with the cockpit. I mean, sometimes I get a bit confused when, like, the computer doesn't work properly. But everything's really switched in my head now but I spent a lot of time in the RJ and other things, not just hey, press this then press that, but understanding what it is you're doing. Like once you understand what the APU does and all that sort of stuff. Right, now I need to set the altitude for pressurization. So we're going to initial altitude of 45, so I'll set that to 45. It does it. Manages it automatically as long as you've got your high pressure, low pressure valves on. So these two dials up here are what it actually is. The right hand dial is the increase or decrease in the pressurization. A normal rate's about 0.500. And then this plane can pressurize up to about 8,000 feet, so really tends over here, so you know the dial should be no higher than 8 times up. See this go up, and yeah, everything's fine. You've got each of the panels, so you know you've got your anti-ice is on here, it says it at the top. Hydraulics is here, pressurization's here, so This plane is a new one that's just come out, Casey, and it's fantastic. It is really, really good. Everybody's saying how good it is. I love Flight FX because they did the SF50 and they did the P180 Banty, which is the propeller. They're not like that there with PMG. We don't have like system failures and fuses and stuff, but they're sort of I would call them sort of high fidelity. They're not necessarily study level, but this plane's only £28. Yeah, so it's really nice. I have a few grumbles about the tablet. That's just a Flight FX thing. You want to give me a 4-digit number, my friend? You can choose my sort code. But yeah, so I've just put in the flight plan. We brought it across from Simbury, so that's all in. And the plane will basically fly itself as long as you press things in the right order. So we're really ready to go. I probably should start up the engines. So put in the flight plan. We've got the APU running. All the screens are good. All the navigation lights are on. I probably will put the tail lights on as well because we are going to be. It's going to be getting dark soon. 5478. Lovely. Sounds a lovely number. Now I've put it in using the dial here, so it can do. They do the. Put it in by the radio page as well. I know you can put it in the FMC as well, but otherwise we will click this, highlight the box, and then twiddle the digits. 54 and 5, 54 and 78. Oh. Why is it going 7-7? And then we'll have to go 5477. It's all on you, Matt. It's all on you tonight. Right, let's click ID. It's walking 5477. Whatever reason. Doesn't like other numbers. TCAS 40 miles. Let's put this on weather. Strictly speaking, you would do this while you were taxiing rather than sat at the gate. You don't irradiate too many people, but we're out here on the apron. You know, this guy, we don't care about him. But I don't need any of you guys. Is I don't need a pushback, just drive forward. Okay, let's go for engine start. The bleeds are on, so I should be able to just start engine 2. There we go. Give it a little bit of juice, fuel in. Take the ground power away once the engine's running. Okay, it will settle about 65 N2. ITT's usually about 550, 540 or something for idle. You're my co-pilot, Casey, for the evening. Hope you know what you're doing. Okay, well, we've got good light off, that's all going, so we can do left-hand engine. Do you fly in Flight Simulator yourself, Casey, or real pilot maybe? I used to be a real pilot, EPL only, but oh, many years ago. Lost my I stopped flying for about 2000. I can't remember when I passed my EPL. It was about 01, I think. 01, 02, somewhere like that. Okay, engine 2 is a go. So the gens are already on. They've remembered them from last time. State saving. That's good. We can actually get rid of the ground power. Last time I taxied back with this thing attached. So it chocks away. Get that away. And we are at EGPF. Been a while on PC. What am I doing? I am doing a SID. We're doing the Norbo 1H. Go. I'm out here, gal, hang a left to Norbo, and then we sort of head east. I don't know, does this have a taxi? I know where I'm going. Probably big. This airport. We're just coming out here onto A3. Taxi up to the hold here, sort of B1. Or we could go A1. B1's probably fine, and then take off from 123. Okay, engines are running. We don't need the APU anymore. The auxiliary power unit. Star Fox back in the day. Star Fox. That sounds familiar. So what was that movie with Clint Eastwood when he stole the Russian jet? Firefox. That was a good movie. Enjoyed that. It's still a good movie. I mean, it's a bit, you know, far-fetched with. Right, so we can APU stop. That will wind down the APU. Got the packs on auto, so we can take the bleed air off. I mean, you could just shut the master off, but ideally you need to let the APU come down to 0. Put the APU off. Okay, let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's get flying, people. Oh yes, we will arm that. We'll arm the VNav and the nav. Altitude set to 5,500. We can't go above 6 for our departure. Was that one I showed, the Norbu one? Let's what we got on range rings here. So 2.5 here. I've got 5 set there. That's kind of fine for takeoff. Okay, and we want flaps 15. There's normal takeoff for this, so let's do the slats. This thing's got slats like an Airbus here at the front. Very nice. You know you're in a thing. Now these things aren't going to get out of the way, so immersion brake, we're going to have to drive through them. I do wish the Microsoft simulators could do better ground operations realistically. I mean, yes, there's GSX, but even then it's just, I mean, you get AI trucks and planes and stuff driving all over the goddamn place, so there's nothing realistic about their ground ops. Okay, so parking brakes off. Did a little bit of so, just pretend those aren't there. Camera. Is that music okay? Is it a little bit too loud? I'm just little beats for the cruise and okay. It's going to be quite a pretty takeoff, this, I think. Sun going down. Firefox was that 1982 Firefox? The collector's item if you still have it. God, I don't know if it was one I ever. There would have been VHSs and stuff at the time. Right, okay, we've only got slats going, so let's get flats 5 set. Flaps are down here on the display, and we'll go flaps 15. I need to double check what I haven't done. I haven't turned on the taxi lights. I'm terrible. Bad man. Right, any planes coming? I've got FSTL traffic on. Just got some sort of live traffic, but not rich enough for all the ATC stuff yet, so okay, so if I keep the line, this flap that's in front, so I just keep the line just touching it, or just on the first bit, and generally the nose wheel is sort of on the line. If we come out here, have a look, see where my nose wheel is. Yeah, it's on the line. Yeah, just I'm using that as a reference point. You have Con Air on VHS. Oh, nice. Good movie. I was in Vegas when Con Air was being made. They blew up, I think it was the Sands, and I was there when they blew it up. I mean, they were scheduled to demolish the Sands, and but then they had it all set up for filming, so they then filmed the collapse and the explosion, and then edited it and used it, and used that in the movie for Con Air. Right, so we are here. Look where I'm driving. So I want to get, I mean, it's 240 quid or so. I want to get Tobii Eye Tracker 5 so that I can look around. Although it doesn't, some people turn it off. even when they've got it, because it can sometimes be a bit, you know, wobbly around people, especially if you're streaming. But yeah, we'll just come up to this B1 hold point, check everything again. But yeah, I think that was 2006 when they blew it up. Yeah, it was Las Vegas, because Con Air's set around that, and they, in Con Air, they have the plane crashing into the casino and destroying it or something in the movie. So I think the movie, I'm not sure when the movie was out. I think the movie was out like something like 2007 or something like that. And if I've got my years right, I might be getting it wrong. But the Sands was blown up in. Well, it could have been 90. It could have been 90. I forget now because I went to Vegas a couple of times around that period. It could have been. Actually, I think it was late 90s, wasn't it? Anyway, I was in Vegas when they blew it up, and you know, they had it live on, but they blew it up. I think it was something like 2 a.m. or something. It's just, yeah, nobody wants any sleep. Let's just blow up the casino. But it was, you know, it was filmed, and people. I mean, you couldn't stand right next to it. But you could either go out in the street and sort of watch it, or, you know, watch it on your TV in the hotel rooms or something. But it actually got blown. When I say blown up, I mean it was demolition. So they blew it up with demolition charges when I was actually there. So that's my little claim to fame right there. Right, we're at the runway. It's night ops. It's getting to night. The sun's going down. It doesn't look like there's anything coming in, so we're just going to assume that we've been given clearance. Let's just check the messages here. We've got flat 15. My trim is not right. I need to get my trim in the green. Go. It is set in the green. Then we'll go auto trim when we're in the air. We've got parking brake, that's fine. No takeoff, that's fine. Pitos are on. Lights are on. I need to put my landing lights on now and take the taxi lights off. And the landing lights should stay on until we're at 10,000 feet and then come off above that. It's normal procedure. I do sometimes often forget that. I'll probably, after I do this climb to 6,000, once we're out of the Norbo SID departure, I'll probably go to 10,000 feet, and then that always reminds me to then turn the lights off. And then we'll climb up to 45,000 feet on our way to Oslo. It's not a very long flight really, about an hour and 20 minutes once we get up in the air. I'm just trying to think if I've forgotten anything. Right, let's switch back to the SID on here. So the good people that watch this on the VOD or anybody live will be able to see the charts. Now I can have it. It's probably best like that. But yeah, we're doing this track 225 down here, Norbo inbound. Can't go above 6,000 feet until we're past Norbo. Okay, altimeter set, flaps are set, stabilizer is set. Let's go. We're burning fuel basically. Boss of this jet's not too happy with me burning fuel. Let's line up. Go in. You think Vegas is always under construction when people go there? I mean, I went there quite a bit in the 90s and a couple of times in the 2000s. I think I've been to Vegas about 6-7 times in total. Well, I haven't been for a long time now, but yeah, I mean, it's changed a lot since I was there. I mean, they've built and knocked down more casinos than... I'm actually gonna come here and turn it around a bit. We shouldn't do that, but I just never really like too much runway behind me. But this plane is so nice to fly, and it's very nice hand flying, even with the crappy controls that I have. Crappy controls and a crappy pilot. Crap airlines, come fly. Come fly with crap airlines. We'll get you up, but maybe not down. Okay, are we lined up? Yes. Parking brake on. Right. Auto throttle is set. Nav is set. VNav is set. We are ready. Fuel damper. So it's just autopilot to come on once we're up in the air. We will activate it fairly early so we can see all the lights and have a little look around as we take off. And of course we're flying a proper SID departure. So yeah, let's go. Let's get up to about 40%. N1, off the brakes. And we are rolling. I've got my camera quite set how I like it. Okay, V1, there we go. Up we go. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Autopilot is on, and we will do a flight level change. And we'll need to start putting some flaps away shortly. There we go. Bye bye, Glasgow. Nice night departure out of Glasgow. Looks pretty, doesn't it? Who says 2020 doesn't look good? Looks brilliant. We'll bust out of these clouds pretty quick as well, because the clouds are about 3,000 something and we're going to 6, so at 2,000 we're going to 5.5. We're going to take some flap away, that will allow us to speed up. Yep. Flaps up, speed is coming up. Right, so we're going to lose some of these pretty views here, but I've got the graphics mostly on ultra and secure on high. Keep the collision lights on. Entering the cloud. And then we should get some nice little views as we break through. I think by 4,000 we should have broken through. 3.8. Turn. That brightness down just a bit. Here we go. Should have taken a picture on climb out, shouldn't I? Take one now. Okay, so the right hand, I've got this set to 5 miles. Let's just change that to 10. Sorry, 12.5 is next one. This one will set to 5. So we're just easing off power and stuff because we've got to about 5.5 and our speed. So we've brought the flaps up now, everything's up. Plane we're just going to do Norbo. And I did have my heading set for the 225 departure. Stated Excalibur for vacation across the street from New York. Stated, you mean you stayed? You stayed? Yeah, the Excalibur I think is one of the oldest casinos now. I first went to Vegas in '89, and I stayed in think the Excalibur one night and something else for one night, which was horrible. It was across the street from Excalibur. And then I went and stayed in Circus. I was backpacking on my own. So here's Norbo up here. We've just got to do this 225N marker, 1.6 miles. Now I can set 6,000. Just don't go above it until we get to Norbo, but it's going to be pretty quick because Norbo is just a few nautical miles. 3.7. Ooh, why is it put a big S in there? I've not seen it do that before. It obviously thought it couldn't do that turn. It's interesting. Oh well, we'll fly the path that it's doing. It'll give us some nice pictures, but because of our speed, kind of weird. I shouldn't have done that, but that might be. They were making Harley Davidson Hotel. Yeah, okay. Well, I was there around that time, and Excalibur and the New York was fairly new, around the late 90s or something. ENGM's opposite New York, and yeah, that's right. Up just a bit north on that strip from the ENGM they were doing the Harley Davidson, but they've got so many more casinos now, sort of between New York and like Caesars and stuff. All that stuff on the left and right has changed. But I went back in 2006. I actually went to Vegas twice in 2006. I went once with my mate in something like May to watch the World Series of Poker, which was actually Shuffle Up and Deal was done by James Garner, the real Maverick. RIP now, of course, but yeah, and then me and the missus went to Caesars in, I want to say June. I think it was June or early July. Might have been July, so it's like 2 months. So I went for 2 weeks in May with my mate, and then I went for 2 weeks with my wife in like July. I think that was the last time I went to Vegas. Actually, was maybe 06. So yeah, it's changed a lot. It's 20 years ago now. Yeah, can't afford it now, of course. Oh look, we've got some nice windmills. Things that Donald Trump hates. I think they look quite cool myself. Where are you from, Casey? Finish off my coat. We're just having a little buzz around Edinburgh. Right, let's see if get this right then and fly straight on to. I had everything set. It was only the fact that I changed the height from 5.5 to 6 at that late minute, and I think that kind of out for now. But it should have just done the turn from 225 to Norbo anyway. Just make sure it doesn't kill. I haven't got anything in a holding pattern or anything. 225 in Norbo. Probably flying a little bit faster, and we're not allowed to fly more than 250, so we're within. Should be going left here now. Looks like it's doing it. It's doing it. It's doing it. Look at that. Look at that colour of that sky. Peachy coloured sky. And we've got the night lights in the city below us. Right, and then we've got quite an aggressive turn to the left. Let's see if it takes this down correctly. And then we're cleared. Right, TLA 48 miles. Norbo is cleared. Right, so we're going to go up to 10,000. Now these screws are up because flight effects make it easy for you because they're actually down here. Change the, but they know it's a sim and you're not really in a cockpit. Just swivel your head around, so flight effects are very good at putting handy click spots, because you'd be twiddling this with your hand while you're looking out in real life. A lot of jets of course have this stuff up on the front panel, but in these sort of Cessnas and this time period cockpit it's all down. And, right, so that's 10,000. We'll flight level change that. Engines power up. At 89 I think they get to. 89. Climb. Yeah. Up like a space rocket, this thing. This thing can go to 51,000 feet at Mach 0.92. Faster and higher than any commercial plane. But what part of the world are you from, Casey? Obviously by my name I'm from the UK. I'm quite near London, but 10 miles south of Heathrow really. I've been quite nice to get to see all the planes. Right, we're going to be flying east, so we're going to start losing the sun because we're flying into the darkness rather than following the lights. Okay, so now that we are at 10,000 feet, we can knock off the landing lights and let's put in our 45,000 feet. We'll just double check the icing. Right, let's get flight level change going in. 45. We're not actually flying that fast, so I might stick to the 45,000 feet. My last flight I did in this, we went to Reykjavik in Iceland and flew at 48. But we're not going to be up in the air quite as long. Originally from Texas. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've got a guy in our Discord. He's in Texas. I wish I could, because when I was backpacking it was 89 and 90. And I was in San Francisco staying at the youth hostel, and I tell this story because I went down to the Iceland supermarket at the foot of the hill, and when I came back there were guys with machine guns and police everywhere and stuff. They wouldn't let me back in the hostel and they wouldn't tell me why, but then I walked round the side and there was a bunch of cops, San Francisco cops, and quite a pretty female cop. So I went up there and laid my English charm and said, I'm staying at the youth hostel, I've got these bags to carry, why can't I go back to where I'm staying, and oh my god, what's going to happen? And she said, well, I'm not allowed to really tell you this officially, but President Bush, and this was Bush Senior, the first Bush, is landing, and yeah, once he's landed and gone, you'll be able to go back to your youth hostel. So I then walked around another part of the green and sort of attempted to get a bit closer, and then some soldier pointed his M16 at me and was like, don't come forward any further. I don't know if he said, "Oh, I'll drop you," or something. I had an M16 pointed at me. I was like, "No, it's all right. I'm from England. I've just bought my spaghetti and my rice." And then I got to see all the helicopters come in, and limousines all turn up. Like 3 limousines, 3 helicopters, all looking the same. The Marine helicopter. It was actually great because I was literally like, well, maybe 500 yards away or something from where they landed. And yeah, front row seats. And eventually got back into my youth hostel. You gotta go? No worries, pal. Thanks for stopping by. I'm up to 18,000 feet. We're looking good. We're on the long climb up to 45. That is a beautiful, beautiful sunset. Thanks for stopping by. Shimmer. Beautiful. Right, let's just do a quick check. Flaps are up. Heats are on. Anti-icing. Don't think that's required. Let's have a look at our temperatures. Minus 24. TAS 405. Ground speed 427. We're not in cloud. Now quite a nice clear night. Over to Oslo. Have another hour's flying time. They're probably not going to be up at cruise for too long. Probably be up at cruise for, you know, 20-25 minutes maybe, and then we'll be descending again. I should probably sync fans, but I'm not sure if you do that on climb. Certainly should probably do it on cruise. Lovely. When I used to work at a hotel, you got to see Al Gore and Rosie Perez, Kevin Costner having breakfast in the courtyard. How cool. Wow. Well, the thing is, these people are real people. They got to eat and fly in somewhere or something. It's kind of weird how sometimes you come across, but yeah. It was kind of funny. My run-in with the CIA and the military in San Francisco. He was visiting, I think Bush was visiting San Francisco University, was why he was visiting. But the youth hostel was on big open grounds and fields, so they used that to land all the helicopters. And then take him off in the car. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting to work at like hotels and planes or trains and something, because you know you get to see all kinds of people, you know, the rich, the famous, the normal, the drunk, the stupid. There's have a few tales to tell. Ah, this plane, such a delight to fly. Doesn't really do many things wrong. That's the sun shining on the body of the plane. Always amazes me how good they can get shadows and sunlight. That sun is disappearing fast. Oh, we've now got high enough to start getting a chemtrail. That must mean we're about 28,000 feet then. Yep, there we go. 28. I think it's 28 in the game. I mean, it's usually always, because some of the bombers, B-17 bombers, would have trails. I can't remember how high they flew. It was up, I think something like 24 or 25, just like their max altitude. But yeah, you would get the trails. You should get up into the 20s. I thought you said you were leaving, the time to go. Basically. Right. So our altitude now, 30. We're climbing at 1700 feet a minute, 300 knots, out of hell. Centre the heading bug. Right, let's put the routes on. Let's take this up 50 miles. And go Agped. And I think we'll put this one on maybe 100 miles. Take off the walls on this map. No problems. We've got 29 knot wind coming from the left, 30, and we've got we've got tailwind 62 knots. Oh, that's good. Oh yeah, look, ground speed 534. I don't know why it says I've got the weather off when I've got it on here. I need to check the manual. There's something I've not done on here. Agped. We are off to Agped. Agped is just near Newcastle. And then Neteb, which is after Agped, is pretty much on Newcastle. And then so yeah, 10 nautical miles. We should see the coast actually probably from here. You'll see when the lights stop. So that is Newcastle down there, those lights, the plane coming at us. And then probably just about here is the coast, east coast of England. I'm streaming on Twitch and I'm streaming on YouTube. So I'm doing the Mappier games on my YouTube channel as well, and also streaming Top Flight Simulator, and I'm also streaming SnowRunner. So I like rolling my trucks. See the coast because you see where the lights stop. It looks so realistic, man. I was fortunate enough to be in a cockpit of a couple of commercial jets, and yeah, this is what it looks like when you're up at, well, we're north of 30,000 feet now. So pretty. I might turn the engine noise down a bit now because it is quite a sort of a loud hum to listen to when we're on cruise. So let's just Aircraft engines. Let's put them down to 20, but it's actually the... So the environment, I got that set to 10. There we go. It's all fairly loud there, isn't it? Let's put in a little bit of turn over Newcastle. Another picture. Yeah, if you watch this on my VOD on YouTube later or live, don't forget to hit the like button. It's such a small channel that I get completely forgotten about by the algorithms. Look at that sunset. So we're getting so high now you can actually see the curvature of the earth a bit. It must be up at 40 something now. Yeah, 42,000. I think I'm going to go a little bit higher. I think we're going to go 47. But no, we won't be up here too long. We've got Digby, Erlot, Ivham, and then Surat, and we'll probably start descending somewhere around Patil or Danko maybe. Let's take out this. This has got me descending. It wants me to be at 12,000 feet at Roxham. I will probably put in some altitudes so that we're not coming down like a SpaceX landing booster. I do have a YouTube channel, yep. Let's we'll link it. Yeah, I've been doing it because we got the new Mafia game coming out, so I did Mafia 1 a couple of weeks back. Got all of the Mafia 1 up on my channel, and then I'm doing Mafia 2 at the moment. I'm not sure whether I'll get time to do Mafia 3 before Old Country comes out, which is the new Mafia game. And then I'm putting the VODs of my live streams of SnowRunner and Microsoft Flight Sim on up on my YouTube as well. Mostly unedited. I'll just take off the wait times and yeah, very small channel. But I've got nearly 600 videos or so on my YouTube channel. I mean, it's not monetized or anything. 46, one to go to 47 now. But can you see that curvature? Yeah, that's how high we are. Let's see if I can take a picture. I don't think these will particularly come out that well because it's a bit dark, but. But yeah, I mean, the YouTube, I kind of need likes and comments, particularly comments on some of the videos and stuff, because I can't monetize YouTube until I get more than 500 subscribers. I've got less subscribers on YouTube than I have on Twitch. But my numbers have gone down. I mean, you know, with obviously like COVID and stuff, and you know, most people streaming and stuff, 20, 21, 22 is quite high, and it's just been getting less and less the last few years. But you know, I'm not sort of pro streamer or anything like that, so but just it's nice to play the games I like and chat to people, meet people around the world and stuff like that. Very nice. You know, I've been to the States a lot. I mean, you know, more than any other country or something. I mean, the modern world's gone a bit crazy. Not only what's happening in the world, but politics. But then, I don't know, I always remember, like, who was Bush's vice president? Dan Quayle, you know, I mean, you know, I mean, people have been doing this shit for decades, really, but I've got cousins out in the East Coast, Delaware, New Jersey, had a couple in Philadelphia, outskirts of Philadelphia. So there was a lady called Jean, R.I.P. bless her, she died. She became a bit like a second mum to me out in the States, but she was a GI, but she was from sort of Bristol and lived in Wales and Bristol for a while, and she married a GI after the war. Well, in the war, I mean, like 44, 45. And yeah, went back with him to the States in the mid to late 40s, and then I think she had 7 kids. I didn't. So when I went out for that backpacking trip in '89, I basically had, I just got an achievement, 50 hours night flying. It's a little bit quieter if I need to turn some of these lights down a bit, shall we? Don't need them. Where are they? Here. So yeah, so when I went out in '89, I'd never met them. I said it was my dad's cousin or whatever, so I went out there and you know, met them for the first time or something, and I've been out not as much as I would have liked, but a couple of times over the decades, and sort of lived with them in some of their homes for, you know, some weeks or whatever. So I haven't just been to the States just sort of for tourism. It's, you know, it's quite different when you stay with a family and, you know, you hear people arguing about money and the cost of, you know, school taxes and, you know, just normal life or whatever. So I've done quite a few touristy things, but I've also had some Christmases out there, and sadly all the older generation and stuff. There was another sister of the cousin that died. She was up at Ithaca, New York State. They're no longer with us. Right, everything is good. We've got no warnings. Now, what I was gonna do, I'm gonna just be in this cruise for a little while, is let's just sort of get a nice little view. Don't need that. In fact, I'll probably put the tablet away. Not gonna see a lot outside, so look at that. What a pretty cockpit that is. There's a light that dims the switches. It's this one. Just going to dim it a bit, so maybe not that much. Like I'm flying a space shuttle or something. That'd be good. Microsoft Flight Simulator Space Shuttle. Right, and also because we are cruising, I was going to hit this sync to fan. Switch is active, I guess it does work with it. Will harmonise the engines so they shouldn't be quite as noisy. It's sort of really for the passengers, and then you turn sync off for takeoffs and landings, etc. So we are slamming along at 0.91, nearly the maximum speed. 92's maximum. This Mach 91. I mean, that's like fighter jet stuff right there, almost 47,000 feet, Mach 9.91, although they could probably do Mach 2 up at this altitude, but yeah, only things like Concorde and military stuff would go faster. If you look at the size of the engines of this thing, probably see them in the dark now. I think somebody said these are the engines that are on like an Embraer 135, 145 or something. Normally carries like a 100 passengers or something, and they got it on a plane that carries like 10 people. The cabin. Probably best. No lights on in the cabin. Hello, don't worry about it. I mean, that actually looks quite a nice photo of that. I've got a daytime picture like this. Let me take a nighttime one. We're up here. It's a little bit weird because it needs like a little light above it. I think that is the dimmest it will go in the cabin. Motley crew, got the toilet back there. We give them some food. Don't know which tray. It only puts the food out on one tray. But we'll start the dinner service for them. Give them a plate of dinner. I went with pizza last time. Give them a posh plate of dinner. I don't know why it's only on one table, because in the P180 that's made by the same people, they have food on every table. It's really not that good, really. It's just cheese and bread and some figs. I don't think she's too happy about it. Florida and Las Vegas, as far as getting out of the state that I'm at tourism over the years. Florida's nice. I went down to the Keys and then did the Orlando bit, back in the day. And Vegas. You want to go to Maine, but you haven't been there yet. Fishing coastlines and stuff around Maine, isn't there? These shade button work here. I know we've got the switch. There's a few things in the cabin, I think, there, because like all this stuff's like that. We've got the shades override, but I still think it's like the P180, you could even swivel out the seats. So they've not made this cabin as good as their last one. It's good. You know, you've got bottles of wine back here and all that sort of stuff. Close. If I do that, I'll close all the blinds. The night flight. But yeah, in the P180 you can actually click on things on the seats and they sort of swivel out, and food's on every bit of the table. And then I think you can turn some of the lights on and off in the P180 by the overheads, and I think you can see it's these switches, but I don't think they've got these in up in a moment. The mouse would change. Maybe they'll do that later. Anyway, they can enjoy their plated food. I think they should model like a little stewardess or something in there. They put passengers in. Just have stewardess standing somewhere or something, couldn't you? Right, let's have a look at the routes. Let me flip over my screen to display rather than game. Might be a bit bright after that, so yeah, we're halfway between Givham and Surat. Well, a bit more than halfway. We've got a 50-mile leg to Till, and then a very short bit to Usom. Danko, Lanti, SVA, that's the coast of Norway. And then we're coming into Ripam. And then we're landing runway 1 left at Oslo. And this is the approach. We go Ripam, Roxim, and then we follow the 410, 409, 408, 407, losing altitude to Valpo. And if we have a look at the chart for it, use the overlay. So the plate altitude is 3,500 feet for the capture the ILS. And for Valpo is 5,000 feet. But we'll probably let the VNAV in this plane is very good, so if I just set 3.5, it will hit all of these altitudes. Now that's the doesn't really have a star, this thing, does it? Just that should be open charts. Have a look. So Roxim, it wants 12,000, and then it's 11, and then Valpo 5, and then you head for your 3.5 to get to the airport in the top corner there. Palm Beach. Your dad telling you to quit swimming in the red tide found out. I don't think I would want to live in Florida because I don't really like humid. It's too humid. Humidity is too high. And all the hurricanes and God knows what else and stuff, so certainly would like to fly around. I've missed my opportunity to do any more flying in life, but maybe I'll do it in the next life. 1225, so I probably need to do something like 18,000 at Ripon and then 12,000 for Roxim. Let's hold on. So I think I might need to put some of these in. Just to help us. So it will have all the approach stuff. So it's got the 11s and the 5s and then the 3.5 in. The approach is in. So Roxim at 12. So Ripon, I'm going to put in slash 18,000 so that we're not diving from 50, and then Vavette, have a look. Well, no, Texas is, I mean, Texas, it's not that I don't mind hot, I mean, Texas is, well, I mean, Texas is massive, so I guess it's down on the coast, but like a lot of Texas, certainly northern or central, is almost desert heat. Desert heat is dry, like Vegas. But I guess if you're down, maybe I think Houston and all the stuff that obviously is closer to anything, all the water is a lot more humid, isn't it? So I mean, Texas is absolute zonkers big. So you know, you've got different time zones and climates and stuff just all in one state, but yeah, I quite like a dry heat, like a desert heat. I mean, somewhere like San Jose and all those sort of places probably, but you know, Texas now is getting snow in January or February, and God knows, probably up into the 40s, 110 and in some parts of Texas and stuff in the summer. I mean, right now, we like late July. Must be hotter than a camel's back. So, I've got 18,000 at Vivette. How far away is Vivette? Trying to get a sensible descent going. So Vivette to Ripon. So Ripon I'm going to do 18,000. Vivette is 40 something miles. 52 it says on my map. Yeah, 51.6. So I might do something like 38,000 feet or something. So we get top of descent. Let's put in, did that last time in this jet and it worked out quite well. I'll put it in the wrong. Right, that'll put a new top of descent in for us. Whereabouts in Texas were you brought up and live and stuff then? Oh, it's so massive. I'll have to bring up a map of Texas, but I mean, obviously you've got your Dallas, your Houstons, and you know, your big population centers, San Jose, all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. If I lived there, I guess it's like if you had money or something. Like if I had money and stuff, I'd probably want to live in the middle of nowhere. Just, you know, some town with like 1,000 people or something. Because yeah, there's a guy that lives near Houston way, and then you've got Austin's quite popular in San Antonio. But Sweetwater, how many people live in Sweetwater? Maybe I'll live in Sweetwater. Fort Worth, Dallas. Get out of here, JR. Sweetwater looks... It's got a National Wasp World War II museum in Sweetwater. Isn't it very big? It's 123 miles southeast of Lubbock. Population 10,000. That's still too much. It's too big. Maybe I'll live in Roscoe, so just outside. Big water, that's even. But yeah, Dallas, Fort Worth. I mean, Fort Worth now, and I mean, it's all merged into one now, isn't it? I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, they were a bit more distinct, but spreading out into the. I used to love watching the old Dallas TV show. Was South Fork? I had a feeling South Fork, maybe I'm wrong. I had a feeling that was more Fort Worth way, or because they've got the, you know, you can still go and visit the real South Fork Ranch. Although I watched a really good YouTube documentary all about Dallas and stuff, which because like the very first series, they actually used a different South Fork. They used a different exterior, and then the one that everybody got to know wasn't really until the second season, and then they filmed most of the interior stuff in a studio and the exterior. So when they actually made the series, they would sort of go down and they would sort of shoot all the outside bits, you know, so something jumping around in plot lines and stories, you know, get off my what, you know, when they're shouting in the driveway and things like that, and parking the cars and coming and going and stuff, and then they would try and film all that stuff, you know, on location, and then try and do all the studio stuff separate, which kind of makes sense from a money point of view. But so a lot of the interiors in South Fork were never really used much in the show because they were all in the studio. I was looking it up. Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. I watched that documentary all about like the making of it and stuff, probably about like 6 months ago or something. And then I was zooming around on, and this is great. You can do this now. You go onto Google Earth and go into Street View, and I was going up and down the road that's in front of South Fork on Street View on Google, like some Google stalker. Just empty roads, not enough traffic, very different from how it is here. just got so much goddamn space in Texas. Although, you know, I'm sure it's, you know, especially around where you brought up before that, I mean, it's very congested and stuff around those areas now, but you know, I mean, a lot of Texas stuff really wasn't that, you know, it wasn't until you all had aircon and things like that. I mean, a lot of it, so you couldn't live in it, you know, New Mexico and, you know. But yeah, I'm just looking at the map, so I imagine places like, I mean, because Louisiana would be humid and Houston would be humid. I'm not sure about San Antonio, it's a bit off the coast, but as you get further east towards New Mexico, or you're up like Oklahoma City, oh, that's actually in Oklahoma, I suppose. Yeah, Dallas is actually quite north, isn't it? In Texas. Well, north of center, but it's still. We've got the Chickasaw Nation and the Choctaw Nation. All that stuff is to the north of Dallas. That way, maybe. And then you've got that bit of Texas, that, like Amarillo, which is still in Texas, but you've got New Mexico to the left, Oklahoma to the right. Right, where the hell are we on this route? I am flying to Danco. 48 miles to Danco. Okay, so what did I have in? I'm going to go to 38,000 feet at Vivette. So probably we'll start descending after SVA then. You've been there a bit too. What we've got a whole bunch of places in Texas, of course, with a delay. Map gone now. Amarillo. Maybe it's Amarillo. We've got 21 knot tailwinds, 554 feet over the ground. Back 9-1. Literally like a book. If you had a real one of these planes, man, I mean, holy hell, getting up to 50,000 feet, zipping along Mach 9. It paces so quick. Let's check the fuel, make sure we're not running out of fuel. We've got 2,810 pounds. Fuel flow 820 is quite high. Why is it that? It's normally 500 odd when I'm at cruise. In cruise speed. Some of those lights I had outskirts of yeah, it's going to be the coast of Norway. A bit of Norway that sticks down a bit like. Yeah. There's some lights of Norway's coast part of it anyway. All you remember is hot sun monkeys at zoos and ice cream parlours when I was younger. Hot sun monkeys? What the hell's a hot sun monkey? Oh, well, sorry, hot sun and then monkeys at the zoo. Yeah, okay. I thought hot sun monkey was like some kind of drink. You got taken to zoos when you were young, were you? Oh, I'm sort of too old and poor now to do a lot of travelling. I did quite enjoy travelling around. My YouTube's quiet tonight. Stop by. It's Sunday night. Right, finish my drink. Getting like 10:30 here it is at night, so probably be landing about 11. It will actually. Let's turn this music down, screech. Yeah, if I go to program, so here we go, we're 257 miles from EGM. We're going to have £2,000 of fuel left, and 28. We're only 28 minutes away. I mean, we'll slow down a bit on some of the approach and descent, so holy cow, we are moving super fast. I don't think I've landed this plane at night, so this might all go a bit horribly wrong. Yeah, I think if you're in Texas, then we're 6 hours. We're 6 hours ahead of you. It's like 5 hours. It's like 5, 6, and 8 difference between, so like California and stuff is 8 hours, and then sort of the Midwest you get some that are 7 hours, but it's mostly 5, 6, and 8. There's a few time zones where it might be 7 hours. Like when you're at Vegas and you go across the Hoover Dam into whatever state that is, it Nevada or what's next to Nevada, but and then that goes to 7 hours. So yeah, I'll be landing around 11:15ish my time. In Norway though, because Norway's ahead of UK time, so it will be about midnight. So I'm flying in live weather. I think I'm flying real time on this. So yeah, so it's already about 11:30 in Oslo. Right, so there we go. We've got a TOD, top of descent, at just past SVA. This plane is so good on its vertical nav. It will do everything for me. I just need to make sure I set my altitude to go down before all that. So we'll do that just before we get to SVA, and we'll bug in. Well, 38, or I could bug in. I could bug in anything. I could put down a 3,500, and then it will just fly the 38, then the 18, then the 12, then the 11, and the 5. Yeah, just like the airliners do. Easy. But while we're up here at 47,000 feet, zipping along at Mach 9.1, we do nearly 560 miles an hour over the ground. But yeah, if you take, I mean, it's 10:30 for me, so if you take 5 hours off, that's 5:30. So then it's like 4:30 in Texas. But I think does Texas have 2 time zones, or is it just one? So like if you're in Houston, and let's say you're in what's is El Paso still Texas, or is that New Mexico? So El Paso is sort of, it's like half of it's in Mexico, and New Mexico is there. Fort Davis, Alpine, isn't it? So if you're out right out that way, is it a different time zone from Houston? I'm not quite sure where the time. I mean, I just know that East Coast is 5. I know that sort of Texas and Kansas and sort of, you know, that middle thing is 6 hours, and then you've got Pacific is 8 hours, and then sleep 7, sort of Midwest. You're off, Casey. No worries, pal. Thanks very much for chatting, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Stay safe. Right, so upper descent's coming up. Let me wind in the altitude. Don't need to command it. I could actually put the 18 in, couldn't I? Cheers, buddy. Same to you, mate. Right, I don't want this at 100. Let's go 25 on that. There we go, 12.5 here. Look, 7 Sisters on the skyline. So yeah, this is the coast of Oslo, is right up in this, where it meets Sweden. Knot. Wind still, making us get here pretty quick. So SVA as well, it's getting there quickly, 10 nautical miles, probably about another 10 then. We've only got about 20 nautical miles. I'm going to drop us. I might be dropping us a bit early, but last time I did this, it worked out really quite nice. And that was 7 Sisters. Otherwise, if you leave yourself too high, you're just literally diving out of the sky to try and meet air. Right, let's get back to legs on this. Page, my SVA Vivette and then rip them. So this light up here always seems a bit too bright to me, and you can't, you know, you can take it out. Right, I need to I got one. Set landing altitude. This doesn't have a lot of lighting. I might have turned down too much, but might be best to wait before we actually start descending. It's going to be now. Here we go. Purple magenta, that's our. There we go. Engine's rolling back. And going to go from 47 to 38 where purple numbers what we're doing in the flight plan. And my altitude select is set lowest at the moment, 18. Right, so I can set that down a bit. I can see the cabin altitude is dropping slowly. The 38's not too far away, so this will keep us relatively shallow. We'll have a bit more of a drop because then we go from 38 to 18, but we've got 17 miles to drop, another 5,000 feet, which is quite reasonable. Then we've got a bit of a drop because then we're going to go 38 to 18, which is a 20,000 drop, but I think we've got something like 50, 60 miles, isn't it? 52 miles. Power's coming back on because it's very, the VNAV on this is very good as long as you don't try and do anything too crazy. It's so good hitting the vertical profile on, but .39.5, we're going to hit this bang on the money. Right, so then we start this leg and we're dropping again. It's already then put that in. I'm going to put my alt to 5,000 and we'll put it 3.5 so we can hit all the numbers. Five, 5.5, I think it's 5. I'll do it 5, yeah. So we are trying to get to 18,000 feet in 43 miles. It should be okay. We've got quite a descent on them, 4,000 feet. And they're coming down pretty quick. Slowing down on the Mach 0.8, still doing quite. When we get to 10,000, we will need to put landing lights on and check what the transition is on this. It's fixed as well, is it? I think it just says as approximately 80 speed. Trans level set by ATC, so we'll do it at 6 or 7. Okay, so 18,000 feet, so we need a max speed at Ripon of 250, so we're going to have to slow up. We're doing 280, but that's fine, we don't need to do the 250 until we get to that. I think we're a little bit above profile here because we are we'll go back out 12.5. Some traffic above us. Flashing over there somewhere. "24 miles to Ripon, we're at 24 already. So it's just going to hit these numbers. It's eased off a bit at 36. Ripon's coming into view on the MFD. So apart from my landings in this plane's been flawless on all the flights I've done really, so make sure the plane's going right. And we're having, at the moment, I mean we had a little bit of an issue going out that we missed that turn, so it sort of did a 360, but we would do that in real life as well if we were a little bit too fast or didn't think he could make the turn. But it's now brought our descent rate down to 1400. We're losing speed. I mean, it's doing it. It really hits the, and it's kind of weird because the P180 is made by the same people, and it's a pro line as well. Although it's that one doesn't manage its speed or VNAV like this plane does. Really done a good job with this. So we're only 13 nautical miles out from Ripon. So we're already nearly down at 20,000 feet. and we're already below the speed that we need to be. And back on. Oh, very nice. See a lot more of the ground now. But I think that's Oslo up there, the lights. So we sort of come in, go left, do a bit of a hook, and then land in. So landing in 15 minutes. Now we'll keep the P2s on, we still don't need ice. Just check the weather again, Oslo. One knot winds, that's nice. 18 degrees C, 1 knot, variable. Right. We are coming up to 18,000 at 250, bang on the money. That 1 mile, half a mile. It's lovely. And then if I bring up the, if I do bring up the tablet, and bring up the charts, I don't know. ENGM is I've done something, I've gone and turned I've done this before. I think have I put flaps down or something? No. If you type in here or something, and they did this in the P8, this is a fault, something Flight FX do need to fix. It like turned my auto throttle off, I think. Oh, I've got to mess something up now, because if you type, I need to type with this keyboard. And I press buttons and it's gone and done shit. Want some flap out or something, but I could probably get away with a flap 5. But the thing is, I don't. And when I was in the P180, I actually could see like switches flipping. It was often lights down here, like when you typed in on the tablet. But I don't know. I just need to quickly review these, because when I typed, it moved switches. You can like hear them clicking. Heatos are in. I mean, your dampers on, autopilot's on now, but that's all still set. It did something with the auto throttle, even though the light was on. I might have switched it to manual speed or something when I that's not what we want. all ballsed up. ENGM. Yeah, so you need to make sure the Ripham, I don't know which one I'm doing now. The Ripham 3L. It's this one, is it? No. This one. Yeah. Well, I don't know what I did, but I don't know which buttons it was flipping around, but I think we're... But yeah, and it's the same in the P180. It's definitely, I wish I could talk to somebody, and because I don't think they've even fixed it in the P180. It's all tablet related or whatever. You start typing in here and it starts flicking switches around in your cockpit, so just be aware of it. If you can always remember, the thing is, it's just so you click a thing and it's just so easy, and right, let me type. Don't do that. Use the virtual keypad on the tablet. Anyway, we're coming up to port 10, and then we've got this left turn. Everything's being managed well by the plane. 220, 11,000 feet. Why am I at 210 if this is going to be 220? You put a little bit of flap away. And it doesn't like that, does it? Once more flat, because obviously my speed, but I don't understand why the speeds. I think it was because let me just flip this over and then flip it back to FMS. It really should be 220, not 210, but it's got 210 up on the top map there. Anyway, and not difference, not a problem, but it's kind of messed me up a bit there doing. That's not my fault. It's not really the plane's fault. It is something to do with Flight FX really in their tablet. It is a good tablet. It has all the things you need, but this, and I know that some bits don't sync properly on this tablet with the thing in Microsoft 24, but in 20 it does. Okay, so we're making this turn. Now most of this is done 11,000 feet, and then we descend from 11 to 5. But I wouldn't have thought you need flat 5 at 220. But again, it's still I should be 220 and it's got 210. Should be up here, but then that's saying it's too fast. I'll take but I think maybe we should have slats out. I'm not sure. That's fine. We'll keep it where it is, because it's got me going now 202 knots. Go nav, fault, path. That's all right, because we're going to get down to 5,000. $200 at 4,000. We'll be hitting approach. Oh, I think I might. You forgot me. Oh, I've got my gear down. That's what. Oh, that's what happened. I never pressed that. It was. So that's what happened when I typed on there. That's what the. That's why it was limiting the speed. And that was all because I just typed in there. That's got to be a bug. And the thing is, it's in the P180, so I don't know why they haven't fixed it. Both in the P180 and in this plane. I mean, they must have tested it. It's so obvious that you start typing in here, in this plane, it will put your gear down. Right. It wasn't so bad in the P180 because it messed around with your your lights. Like it would turn your lights on and off that were in the P180. Well, I'm going to go back to ping flaps. That's why I was doing it. Oh, well, this flight was going perfect. Well, of course, if you want to avoid all that, just don't use the tablet. You know, with the as far as typing and stuff. Right, I'm going to change this altitude down to 3.5, so that we have it all ready for the glide slope. I'm going to do 11.5, then 4. It all happens pretty damn quickly. There's 18 miles between 407 and Valpo, but we've got to drop 6,000 feet. But Magenta's coming in. I mean, having the gear down slowed us down, so in fact it kind of helped us a bit because it slowed us up. But that, you know, that is a bug. And as I say, it's in both their last two planes. I don't think I've had an update for the P180, so I'm pretty sure it's still in there. But easily avoidable and stuff if you don't know it's there. But if anybody from Flight Effects does watch this VOD, please fix your tablets. Okay. Right, we want to get ready to change to the local. It's 1006. I've got it set still to American. Switch it from EGPF to oops. So 1006 is what it is at the airport. Valpo's 8 miles. We're 7.9 for 5. Very, very close to touchdown. The airport's sort of out here to the left somewhere. I will probably put the flats back out again because we're within flat 5 speed. And that's the slats. I reckon 200's a bit fast for that. Progress. Mess this up too much, but I might make this worse. Just want to put 180 and get a little bit slower. Because our VREF speed's going to be like 120 or something. Probably normal approach speed in this is probably something like about 140 or something. That's the airport. Right, we are only 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 16 miles, less than 16 miles. Right, so we're not far. We go to Ogras, and then pretty much then that lines us up for. So when we make the turning at Ogras, which is the next turning after this, I will then probably hit approach. I'm going to go flaps 5. I love the fact that it has the flap speeds, max speeds on the tape as well. So, you know, you don't have to look up, keep remembering what your flaps. So here we go, we've got approach is 130, VREF is 125. So 130 is what we want, and then okay, so we're making this turn. I am going to go flaps 15 here. And probably gear down once we make the turn. But also these VREFs and that speeds, it puts them in purple, so I'm pretty sure, I was very surprised because it actually set those speeds as well. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Okay, gears coming down. There we are, flat 15. Doing one left, which is the left of these runways. Down the airport, it's a good sign. Right, and I will hit approach so that we capture it. LGS is located in. So we should capture it. There we go, GS is captured in green, so we are now descending on the glide slope. Right, and then we'll go full flap soon. Could go manual here to it and then set this at, so set it at 130. Go full flap at the same time. But this doesn't have auto lands like control, so I'm going to leave it fairly late. I do like kind of doing real time weather flights, but I know you're not going to see too much of this being kind of a bit dark to see the plane. So we're on the lock, we're on the glide slope, all looks good. So just need to take off the autopilot for landing, apply the spoilers and maybe the reversers. Right, we are full flaps, gear is down, 3 green, landing lights are on. Oh, I didn't do the barrow though, although we're on a glide slope, so right, 2000. Altitude at this airport is 100 and something. No, 682. Okay. I always think it's nearly because it's quite close to the water, but. Right, so bit up there, we've got a little bit of tailwind. Right, let's get this bird on the ground and then I can go to bed. Take off there. 2 speed, which I forgot to do, so it's gonna balloon me like a sausage. Very high. He's messing something up. My manual landings are pretty dreadful. I blame my equipment, but then who doesn't? It'll land a bit long, but we'll be fine. Big runway. Okay, touchdown. Spoilers should be up. They are. Okay, and then we should be able to go reverse thrusters. We can make this next turning. See what one. Stowed them. I don't have a proper thing. I need a. Got this switch that toggles using the levers or not, and it's doesn't always work properly. I need to get a proper throttle quadrant with an actual reverse levers, but I have to press a button and then Then it won't work the throttles, it will just work the reverses. Anyway, it wasn't too bad a landing. I ballooned it. Landed long. Just need to do more practices. Right, now I've just stopped here because I actually need to turn my lights up a bit. Actually see what I'm doing. So tint should come off. Taxi lights should go on. Landing lights can come off. Okay, now have I got not sure this has got a runway. At the airport map so we can get to some. What's that doing? The only thing is, like, if you get your thing too near the top of the screen when you start. Right, let's do that. So we're gonna turn in here, turn right, and we just go down this way. Okay, let's bring up the flats. Yeah, I'd like to get that FSI panel, but I don't know if this plane probably wouldn't be in it. Do 20 or 30 landings. Planes coming in. Right, your damper could come off. Mac trim we don't need. ATS is off. Taxi lights are on. Landing lights are off. Some people would start the APU. You probably can just switch straight to ground power. And welcome to Oslo. Yeah, that whole tablet thing totally sort of messed me up. Not realising it, put my gear down. It's just like you can click on the box and then you start typing the keyboard, but of course those keep, like if you press G or something does gear and like but it should be turning that off. There's other planes where you can type using the keyboard and it doesn't do it, but it's a bit weird what they do with their tablets, but it's the same as in the P180. Right, really I should be going to the general aviation. I'm sort of making my way over to where I normally park my RJ. Let's just stop here a sec, because just for realism a little bit. I mean, I don't know if there is. What have we got here? Military apron. Our GA area's over here. It's across the runway. Okay. Turn around and cross over the runway. Just try that. It's got nice proper lights on the steering. You can go this way because I think it's there. I do wish night lighting was a little bit better in 2020. It's not that great. It's a bit better in 24, but like the more glow from the runway here, so we need to go straight across. Let's check. Wait for this plane to land probably. It says GA area. I don't know if that's the business area. I just saw it. We'll go over there anyway, but they've got the GA North. It's kind of weird because when they're coming on the approach, you see their landing lights, and then when on the runway, it's almost like their landing lights get turned off. AI planes. You can see the tail light, but do you know what I mean, Governor? Right, he's turned off. Let's just zoom across using A2C. A big plane over there. Might be an A380. Because the jets often are not with the GA. I mean, I bought Oslo, but I've probably only been there a couple of times. I need to probably, because they haven't got any. They haven't got any static aircraft over it, have they? There's a signature building or something. Tower here. Following the taxiways at all. I'm gonna just too close. I'm gonna stick it in this 336 in the red box, I imagine. It says to go way too far. Back a bit. The lights are off. Right, we'll leave it there anyway. Not mess around with it too much. So, oh shit, I didn't ground power on. The anti-collision's off. Collision can come off. Tail can come off. windows can come off. Chocks can go in. Main door can open. Luggage door. Pretty out. Lovely. Well, it didn't go too bad. So the tablet thing messed me up a bit, and then got a little bit behind the aircraft. I haven't done nowhere near enough landing, and the thing is, it's probably still my third or fourth landing in this jet, and I've never landed it at night. So anyway, the touchdown was all right. We were a little bit more central this time, but it was just a bit late because I should have come off pilot a bit sooner and got back on the profile. But yeah, I do like the Oslo airport. It is quite a nice Payware airport, and it's a nice location. You can do a lot of, like, you know, mid-Europe, Germany. You can fly to a lot of places in 2-3 hours. Oslo, and it's sort of like a nice little 1.5 to 2.5 hour sort of leg over to places in the UK. So right, thanks very much. Don't forget, if you watch this on the VOD, give it a like, leave me a comment, let me know if you've got this plane, planning to get it, or what you're enjoying in Microsoft Flight Sim at the moment, and hopefully I'll see you next time. Take care.